everybody. Welcome to Real Talk Fins Talk. I'm your host, Steve Molloy, and I hope you all are here for a dose of reality. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we may not always agree everything Miami Dolphins, but there's one thing we can agree on. We are all Dolphins. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again. Appreciate y'all. Whatever platform you're at, whether it's Twitch, Twitter, come over here to the YouTube channel, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. It would really help me out if you hit that like button because that sends the notifications out to folks that haven't been getting a notification. It will help send them out. So appreciate if you could do that. So let's get right into the show. We'll talk a little bit about the Colts game and what's wrong with the Miami Dolphins. What's wrong with this team? Well, I think it starts with Ross, Stephen Ross. He has created an environment down here in the Dolphins organization at Hard Rock Stadium, at the practice facilities. He's created a country club atmosphere. That's fine. That's great. He wants to spend his money on that. That's great. But if you're going to do that, why are you spending all this money creating such a beautiful and wonderful facilities, making it a country club atmosphere when we haven't won anything? We haven't won anything. And then he hires a GM, Chris Greer, that has no clue, okay, how to build a football team. He doesn't. And he's been in this organization for over 20 years. He's been a GM since 2016. And he's still here. And he's still here. Then we fired Flores, not to go, not to bring up the past, but I liked Flores. I thought it was a great hire. Okay. He had his faults. He had his good points, but so does McDaniel. So does McDaniel. We hired Mike McGenius, or McGenius. I'm still waiting for the genius part. Chris Greer, Stephen Ross, Mike McDaniel have created a culture in this organization, a soft culture. That's what they've created, a soft culture. A country club atmosphere, a place where you can come and hop in the spa, in the sauna, create relationships. That's the most important thing, is relationships, according to the Miami Dolphins organization and Chris Greer. We need to create relationships. And they have. They've created relationships. We are the most penalized team in the NFL right now. Yes, we are the most penalized team in the NFL right now. And I have never in my life seen so many pre-snap penalties in one game. Pre-snap penalties, man. Think about that. This is basic 101 stuff. Coaching. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break the news. McDaniel's not a head coach. He's not even a coach. He's an analytics specialist, a paper pusher. There was a video going around some time ago that I was looking at, and it was a guy that he was a college coach for not a D1 school or anything like that, but he had won a championship with his college team. I think he was on the Pat McAfee show, and he's very familiar or has some insight into the Shanahan organization. I don't know if the family. I don't know if he knows them personally or whatever. But he was saying that basically Shanahan gave Mike McDaniel the title of run game coordinator. And then he was promoted to OC, but never called a play. Never in his coaching career has he ever called plays. Never. And it shows. And it shows. I don't blame him. He came over here. They he probably talked a good game. And then of course it all started with, remember the cell phone and Tua on the airplane in the airplane? We're gonna work well together. I'm gonna make you a great quarterback. I'm not quoting him, but you get the point. And then Tua with a big smile on his face. Yeah. That's where it all started, ladies and gentlemen. This is where all this bullcrap has started with the Tua hype. Well, actually it didn't start there, but that enhanced it even more. Because there were fans that thought Tua was, he's the savior, the left hand of God. And it all started in college with him. Right? He won a championship. How many games did he play that year? What quarter did he come in during that championship game? And why did he come in? Jalen Hurts got hurt. He came in, he threw one pass, touchdown, championship. All of a sudden, he's the greatest quarterback on earth. Coming out of college, that's all you heard. Tua. Take for Tua. Take for Tua. Take for Tua. I don't know about him. I know he won a championship, but I know nothing more about him. But take for Tua. Tua is not a franchise quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to break the news again. He's not. All McDaniel did was, and he even said it himself, he took 700 plays of Tua on film of his good plays, what his skill set is, right? Put it together. Well, this is your skill set. This was a great play. Look, you're a great quarterback, blah, blah, blah. And all this other crap, that you can't do. We're just going to box it up, put a bow on it, and put it in the closet. And then when the play breaks down, we wonder why Tua can't go off script. Right? After the first and second read, he looks like a deer in headlights out there. And then when he does run and tries to make a play, he gets hurt. Now, some people will say, well, if it wasn't for him getting hurt, he'd be a great quarterback. No, bullcrap. He's a good quarterback. But that's all he is, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen there's no more ceiling for Tua Tagovailoa. We've seen it. This is it. This is what you're going to get because he's doing the same thing he did in college. He's doing it in the NFL. Chokes up, can't win the big games. But he can tear up the bad teams. What's wrong with the Miami Dolphins football team? Well, number one, they're the most penalized team, the most undisciplined team. one of the softest teams in the NFL, right? Now, going to the Colts game. Let's talk about that. Hey, Mr. Success, how you doing, brother? What is see? Saban went to Tua at halftime. Jalen was healthy. Tua unlocked the weapons when Hurts couldn't. Okay, so what has he done after that, though? What did he do after that? Regardless of what did he do after? Besides, I get it. He threw a bunch of touchdowns. He's doing the same thing in the NFL, though. He's playing good against the bad teams and craps out against the good teams. Case closed. Tired of it. He was nothing. He was a nobody in college. He won one game. Came late in the quarter. Whether Hurts was hurt or not, he came late in the game and won it, which is fine. Good for him. Now win me a fucking playoff game. Excuse my language. I'm just upset, guys. Thanks for joining the show tonight, Mr. Sis. I appreciate it, brother. So going back to what I was saying, the Colts game. The Colts game, Mike McDaniel, I've got to give him credit for this. He called a good game. But there's a caveat to that. Okay? Teams are daring us to run. Teams are daring us to run. They're daring us to run. What did Sea Devil say? He played the entire second half in overtime. All right, cool. Very good. What has he done there after that? What did he do after that? Did he win another championship? Did he win any other big games? What has he done in the NFL? That's my point. I don't want to talk about that anymore, okay? It's done. I was just making a point, but I appreciate your comment, Sea Devil. So they're daring us to run. Okay? They're playing 3 or 4 rushers, and then the linebackers are stepping back 5 or 6 yards, and they've got that cover 2 going on. Okay? So they're looking for us to pass on almost every down. They're saying, you beat us with the run or you can't beat us at all. And that's what happened. Well, look, I have to say this too. Ingold fumbled the ball. Mostert fumbled the ball. And that's not a first time for Mostert. He's very good at fumbling the ball. He fumbles a lot. Okay? Ingold not so much. I don't know, because he doesn't get the ball very much. Maybe that's why he fumbled. I don't know. What's wrong with the Miami Dolphins? That's my question to you all in the chat. Sea Devil, Mr. Success, whoever else is out there listening. What's wrong with the Miami Dolphins? Look, I went over some of the things that I thought are wrong with the Miami Dolphins and where it starts. But I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know everything. I need your help, audience. Help me out. What's wrong with the Miami Dolphins? What are you all seeing that I'm not seeing, or that I am seeing? I don't know. I'm confused. I am so confused about this team this year. You know, they went from number 1 offense in football to 32. And I think it's deeper than the quarterback. This problem with the Miami Dolphins is deeper with the quarterback. Yes, I agree, C-Devil. Yes, quarterback play has not been good at all. Now, when Tua comes back, will he be better than Huntley? I hope so. Huntley's a damn practice squad player. Is he better than Skylar Thompson? It's been here for 3 years. And McDaniel and the coaching staff, whoever is in charge of developing these quarterbacks, didn't do a very good job at Skyler. Heck, he was a 7th-round draft pick, number 1. Okay? What do we expect out of him? Right? Who does that fall on? Whose fault is that we still have Skylar Thompson? And then we have a practice squad, frickin' Tim Boyle and Scott and Huntley. Whose fault is that? The NFL knows they can outcoach us and muscle us. This team is too soft, especially on the outside offensive line. Bingo. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Exactly. Exactly. I've been saying that. They're soft. They're soft. Okay? Maybe they're not as soft as I am, but they're soft when you look at the football, when you're judging them by football standards, right? What did Mr. Moon, is it Moon Mudbone? Appreciate you joining tonight, brother. Yeah, fumbled and McStubborn gave it to him again on 3rd and 1 for no gain. He should have given it to Jalen Wright, who is a beast. Yes, I agree with Jalen Wright being a beast. Jalen Wright is the best all-around football player on our team. Achane shouldn't be getting 15, 20 carries a game. Jalen Wright should be getting 25, 30 carries a game. 20, 25 carries a game. Okay, he played good. And they just stopped giving him the ball. I don't get it. Okay, again, that's Mike McDaniel. But here's the thing. Again, they're playing us. They're playing us on for the pass every down practically. They're just daring us to run. Okay, they were stopping the outside zone, but we were running up the middle because there's only 3 people rushing, 3 or 4 people rushing. They only blitzed us 3 times. 3 times the whole game. And they were still getting pressure on our quarterback. And the reason why Huntley could not frickin' fullback. I know, Mudbone. And the reason why Huntley couldn't throw or wasn't connecting because they weren't open. Our $60 million receivers were not open. And that's only 2 receivers, Waddle and Hill. And then those 2 clowns are on the sideline sitting on a bench laughing it up with McDaniel. He's part of the team. McDaniel's part of the team. He's a teammate. He is not a coach. Period. What is wrong with the Miami Dolphins football team? No, they haven't been open. They've been occasionally they've been open, but they've been double teamed. They've been blanketed and all that stuff. And I know when you watch all 22, you know, it looks like they might be open, but when you're looking from a quarterback perspective and the O-line and all this is happening, it's happening fast, right? Remember, McDaniel, he's done one thing. He has done one thing. He's ran the ball more, but that's it. He's still the offense is the same. It's still a timing-based offense. Okay? He's using Tyler Huntley like if he's Tua Tagovailoa. Granted, Tua Tagovailoa has a quick release. Okay? And he's been working with this offense for 3 years now. So he better be better than Huntley. And Skylar Thompson, that doesn't work with the first team for 3 years. Shoot, I don't even know if he's a play designer, Mudbone, but I that's fair. I got you, brother. I got you. You know, I don't know. But so that was the Colts game. Defense has been playing really good. Defense is playing great. Zach Sealer, Calais Campbell, you know, they're doing more than I expected. Not Sealer so much, but Calais Campbell. Well, it's still early. It's only 6 games. You know, he's going on 40. So let's see how he holds up. when he has to play against these good teams and more physical teams and later in the year. Let's see how if he holds up. Okay. Right now he's playing good ball though. Okay. Um yeah, the quarterbacks aren't accurate. Yeah, I have to agree on that, but to be honest with you, everybody says Tua's accurate and everything. He really isn't. He really isn't. I know you're going to think you may disagree with me. He spot throws. He throws to a spot, and the receivers are supposed to be there. And if they're not there, he throws it anyway. Being accurate is when you're going off script or you got 2 or 3 seconds, you got 3 seconds back there to throw the ball, you're kind of making something happen, and you see that receiver break open, and then you throw it. That's accuracy. But when you're going back, straight back, and then you're just throwing to a spot where the receiver's supposed to be, that's not being accurate. Accurate is in real time. That's accuracy. When that receiver's going out and he makes his break and then you're throwing it. No, he's throwing it to a spot before the receivers make the break, and then the receivers are going for the ball and getting it. If that receiver's timing is thrown out, when he makes that break, he gets bumped and is thrown off, he's not going to catch the ball. Because this is all based on rhythm and timing offense. Not saying anything wrong with it when it works, but when it doesn't work, and especially now with the cover 2 that all these defenses are hip to now, right? Come on, guys. Think about this. For the only good game Tyreek has had was against Jacksonville, and he got lucky because they were playing the same type of defense, but they got lucky when those in the sides, the outside the numbers was open all day. And Tua finally realized it, saw it, threw it. Tyreek broke and got open and ran that ball, right? Touchdown, right? But that was only 2 plays in Jacksonville that were the good plays, and they were the touchdown plays. Other than that, he was struggling back there because of this cover 2. McDaniel cannot figure out what to do about this cover 2. The only thing he can do is run because that's what the defenses are giving them. And we're going to see. I want Tua to play. I want Tua to play because I have a feeling that what I'm saying, you all are going to finally see. You're finally going to see what this is all about, what I'm talking about. Tua Tagovailoa is here. This is what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Tua wasn't injured. What would the Dolphins' record be right now? I don't know. I really don't know. And I can only speculate. I would say, let's see, we played 6. It might be 3-3 right now, maybe 4-2, maybe, guys. I'm only speculating. I don't know. But here's the point I'm making. Is Tua better than Skyler? Is he better than Huntley? Of course. Is he better than Tim Boyle? Of course. Does he run this offense better than any of those 3 quarterbacks? Of course. Of course. But explain this to me. How do these other backup quarterbacks, how are they winning games? With less talent. Flacco. Darnold. Malik Willis when he was in there for Love. All these other quarterbacks. But here's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Tua is better quarterback than anybody we have on this roster. Of course, any quarterback we have on this roster. I get it. But here's the thing. He's going to come back, okay? We're going to play the Cardinals. We better beat the Cardinals. We better beat the Cardinals. Okay? We better beat the Cardinals. At the beginning of the year, they were one of the teams I said, yeah, we should beat them, no problem. Now it's like 50-50. Even with Tua. Because it's problem that Miami Dolphins have, in my opinion, is deeper than quarterback. Deeper than quarterback. It's everything that I said. The soft culture, the discipline, offensive line, as Mr. Success has said, right? The comfy atmosphere they have in the locker room. Everybody's, uh, look, Chris Perkins, one of the beat writers, and I'm not fond of beat writers, but there are some that I like better than others. But anyway, Chris Perkins made a point. I heard him on a podcast one day. He was saying that this team, he's been around a lot of teams over, 25, 30 years, whatever it is. And the Dolphins locker room or he's covered other locker rooms, but he said he's never seen a locker room that is so comfy, that is so comfortable. Everybody's smiling, no worry in the world, man. Like they just got a massage, walking on cloud nine. That's the atmosphere he gets in everybody's nice and everything like that. Okay. You call it what you want. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay. To me, that sounds like nobody's job is on the line. Nobody's being held accountable. Right? Tua even said that. I think it was sometime during the off season when he first got paid. He's going to start calling out people and stuff like that. Okay. So that tells me there's no accountability. See, Devil, I appreciate you commenting. I don't know, man. Maybe. Oh, that's Mudbone. Sorry. They play for a competent franchise. If you haven't won a playoff game in over 20 years, this is not the time to hire first-time head coaches. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment for sure. For sure. But look, anyway, enough of Tua, but what I'm going to say is that he's going to come, he's going to win. He probably going to win the Cardinals game. We'll probably lose the Buffalo. And we might, win 2 or 3 or 4 games with him, and everybody's going to be back on the hype train again. Yeah, we're going to Super Bowl, man. Yeah. Then we're going to play San Francisco. We're going to cream us. Then we're going to play frickin' Cleveland. As bad as they're playing, they might even beat the crap out of us in a cold winter day night game in Cleveland at home in their hometown, right? And everybody's going to say, what happened? What happened? Because it's deeper than the quarterback position. It's deeper than the quarterback position. But Tua is better than the quarterbacks we have on the roster. That's it. But it's deeper than the quarterback position. Hey, how you doing, Bryce? He says December is going to be a nightmare. Yeah, I'm afraid so, man. I mean, that's the way it's looking right now at this point in time. But yeah, look, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer, but on my show, I give you all a dose of reality. And I'm hoping my dose of reality is wrong. I hope it's wrong. I've been a fan since 1969. I've seen the 70s teams. Okay, I've seen Marino. I've seen them all. I've seen, I've been at 1969. The Dolphins were created in 66. What, I missed 3 years? That was it. Other than that, I've been around this organization a long time, and I lived down in South Florida at the time in the 70s and the early 80s. I know what a good coach is. I know what good coaching is, a coaching staff. I know what a good offensive line is. I know what a good defense is. I know what a good quarterback is. Tua's a good quarterback. But anyway, getting off Tua, Sea Devil, what did you have to say? We haven't seen what this current incarnation can be or will be because of the injury. Nah, man. Sea Devil, I disagree with you, brother. We have seen it. We have seen Tua's ceiling. We have seen this offensive ceiling. We saw it. They're dead last. They're dead last. The offense is dead freaking last. 32. Last year they were number one. You think they're going to be number one again this year? This is it. This is the team. There is no magic bullet that's going to, it's not happening this year, ladies and gentlemen. I want it to happen. It's hurting me big time that it's not. We are not going anywhere this year. Yes, of course, Tua is an upgraded quarterback. We got freaking practice squad quarterbacks on the team. He's been in the league for what? 5 years. He's been a starting quarterback for 4 years of those 5. Of course he's an upgrade. I'm not mad at you, C-Dub. I'm just upset with the whole team. Look, I'm hoping that I'm hoping he does come back and he wins 9. I hope he goes 9-2. He's going to have to. In order for us to get to the playoffs this year, we're going to have to go 9-2 from this point on. He's going to have to win 9 of the 11 games remaining because we have 4 losses. 11-6 probably gets us into the playoffs. 10-7, if he goes 8-3, I don't know if that gets us into playoffs. And we better not lose freaking 4 more games. That'd be 9-8. All right, 9-8. Let's say we do make it into the playoffs, just by the skin of our teeth. Are we going to win? Would we win? Or are we going to be one and done again? Come on, guys. If we can't see that there's something truly wrong with this football team, and I can't pinpoint it, but I pointed out some areas that I think that need improvement or that are hurting this team. We've got to see that. Mr. Success says, playoffs? We're talking about playoffs. Exactly. That's my homer coming out of me, man. I'm hoping. I really am. Oh, boy. Oh, absolutely, Sea Devil. Absolutely, brother. If our offense was just a little better than what we are now, with the way that our defense is playing, yeah, we could be really good. We could be a really good team. But unfortunately, and that was the side of the ball I had questions on at the beginning of the year, was Weaver being a new defensive coordinator, and then all the new additions to the defense, right? I had a lot of questions. But those questions have been answered. At this time, for me, those questions have been answered. The defense is playing very, very well. I think they might be a top 15, maybe even a top 10 now. I haven't seen the latest stats. Maybe you all know. What does Bryce say? Last season, everyone was telling me to give McDaniels more time. I didn't think he deserves it anymore. Yeah, we could talk about that. I agree with you. Let's talk about that. C. Devil said exactly so. If he can catch some of what we had on offense last season. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Let's talk about that. So there's been a lot of talk lately, a lot of talk on whether or not we should McDaniel get fired. Is he on the hot seat? Do you all think he's on the hot seat? How do you all feel? Do you feel like Mike McDaniel is on the hot seat? Put it in the chat. Let me know what you feel. Is Mike McDaniel on the hot seat? Okay, I see. Who else? Anybody else? Sea Devil. Is Mike McDaniel on the hot seat? Bryce, is Mike McDaniel on the hot seat? Yeah, that could be a winning formula, Mudbone. Bryce says he's on the cold seat. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, I know a lot of folks are saying, "Oh man, we should fire him and put Anthony Weaver as the interim head coach." No, man, we don't want to do that. Not right now. Okay? Because technically this season is not over. As much as I want to say we're probably not going to make the playoffs, or it is what it is. This is the team we got right now. As much as I say that, technically it is not over. So I would say, and this goes for Chris Greer too. Some of you folks are Chris Greer fans, some of you folks are not. Me, I'm not a Chris Greer fan. I say let this season play out. Let's see where it goes. We get the starting quarterback back. Let's see where it goes. And the problem is I'm afraid we're going to go 9-8 or 8-9. We might just skim it to the playoffs, or we might not miss it by one game. And McDaniel's still going to be on this football team, and so is Chris Greer. And Ross is going to say, I'm happy with that. Because they're going to give Ross that shot of hopium. They're going to give the fans that shot of hopium again. They might even give them 2 shots of hopium. And we're going to be on that hopium train again next year. Oh, we just missed it. This year we got it. They're going to draft. They're going to draft a few players, and then they're going to bring in maybe they bring in another big name free agent or something. Oh boy, we're going now. We got it together now. Yeah. Tua's making improvements. The whole line. We got this guy and that guy. We got all the pieces now. We're going to go to Super Bowl now. Everybody's going to be on the hype train again. And McDaniel's going to be here again. Chris Greer is going to be here again. Of course, Ross is going to be the owner, right? And we're going to go over and over around that circle again. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. That is the worst possible scenario, but it's the one most likely to happen. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. But it's very likely that it could happen that way, in my opinion. In my opinion. What is wrong with this Miami Dolphins football team? Yeah, I know. Everybody is saying it's the quarterback. It's the quarterback, but it's much deeper than that, guys. Okay, it's much deeper than that. It's this. It starts at the top. It starts with Ross. Then it seeps down to Chris Greer. Then it's Mike McDaniel. I'll even throw in the scouting department in there. the front office, and the players. And you can't blame the players too much, right? They want their money. I don't blame them for wanting their money. And boy, did a lot of players get their money this year. And so did our coach. And then Ross created this country club atmosphere. Come on in, get your massage. Oh, you want a foot rub too? Oh, you don't want to play you don't want to practice today? No problem. Tyreek. What does Tyreek do in practice? What does he do? He comes 45 minutes late, plays about 8 or 9 snaps, and he's finished. They come and go as they please. OBJ, I think I'll play this week. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. What a freaking joke of an organization. Oh, man. And yet, if Tua hadn't been injured, it is reasonable to suggest that the Dolphins would be sitting at 5-1 right now. Again, CW, we don't know that. We don't know that. Okay? Maybe. 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 But guess what? Do you want your quarterback to be injury prone? Do you want him to come back and play against the Cardinals or whoever it is and get hurt again? Because this might be the last time he plays football. If he gets hurt again, if it's another concussion, hopefully it's not a severe one. It could possibly be life and death for him. Hey, I'm only saying what he said in the interview, right? In the media day. He said football, he said it's life and death for him. Oh, he talked to his wife, but I guess he don't care about his children and his wife or what the family says. He made the decision. So you know what? I have no more sympathy for that man. And then he doesn't even want to wear the Guardian cap. It's a personal choice. He made a personal choice. So if he gets hurt again, that's on him. And then this organization, the Miami Dolphins, just paid him $212 million. And you get injured, and then you're not going to wear a Guardian cap? Even though it prevents maybe 10% of head injuries. He said he was going to he's going to bet on himself. He's going to play the odds. Well, dude, by wearing a Guardian cap, that increases your odds of not getting hurt. And then he comes out real bitter and angry after what this organization does for him and what the fan base, how they feel about him. Majority of the fan base love Tua. I love Tua. He's a great guy, or was. But lately, he's been acting like an ass clown. Ever since he got paid. I'm not jealous. I'm glad he got his money. Looking at it from a player perspective, but looking at it from a fan perspective, I think the fans and maybe the organization deserves a little more respect. True, but again, it's reasonable to suggest that they'll be 5-1 right, one game at the field advantage. Okay, Sea Devil. Yes, okay, I agree with you. Are you happy? I appreciate you all guys coming in here tonight. I really do. I couldn't do this without you. Please hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, share with your families and your neighbors. I appreciate it. Indy, yes. Bills, Niners, Ravens, Chiefs, etc. Nope. They're built different, physical and coached well. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yeah, those are 4 teams right there. You're right. You're absolutely right. And we've got to play the Bills again. We got to play the Niners and on the regular season schedule. And I know everybody is saying, well, Cleveland, they lost their quarterback. They're not playing well now. But you're playing in their house and it's cold and it's going to be a night game. And you know how well we play at night and in the cold. So now that they have lost their quarterback and they are not a good, doesn't seem like they're a good team right at this point, I'd give Miami a 50-50 chance of winning. At the beginning of the season, I said they would lose to Cleveland. But now the way it's looking is 50-50. And I also said at the beginning of the season that the Miami Dolphins are going to have to play really good football throughout the year because we weren't really playing bad teams like we did last year. Although it's hard to project at the beginning of the year because things change throughout the year, right? Who expected Cleveland to be as bad as they are? A lot of teams are playing bad. They really are. But the thing is, you watch the other teams that are playing bad, and then you watch our team playing bad. Who looks worse? You get what I'm saying? We played New England. We looked bad, just as bad as them. We played the Colts. We looked just as bad as them, and we lost. Played Jacksonville. We beat them, but just barely. If it wasn't for a punch out fumble and to your point, Sea Devil, if it wasn't for a punch out, right, by Javon Holland, we would have lost that Jacksonville game. If it wasn't for a new rule toe tapping end zone catch by that receiver in New England, we would have lost that game. So we would have been 0-6. 0-6. And if we would have lost that game to Jacksonville, that was Tua. We lost to Buffalo. We weren't coming back from that Buffalo game. Please don't try to tell me we were coming back. But hey, man, Sea Devil, you could be right, brother. You could be right. Could be right, brother. Miami is going to have to figure out a way to beat one of those good teams, possibly 2 of them. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. See who do we play? We got Buffalo again. We got San Francisco 49ers. Who else we got? Oh, Green Bay. We got Green Bay. I know there's got to be at least 4. I have to look at the schedule. I don't have it with me right now. But anyway, if Tua had scored, Miami would have been 14 points down against Buffalo with over a quarter left. Yeah. And that would have been another quarter that Josh Allen could have scored 2 more touchdowns. Just saying. Heat comment. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you, man. I don't know if you're new to the channel. If you are, please subscribe and share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. Niners are trash this year. Yeah, Niners are trash this year. Guess what? So are the Dolphins. You really think that at that time that we play the 49ers that the Dolphins are going to have improved that much to beat the Niners? McCaffrey be back? It's still the same team. That's what I'm trying to say to you all. You watch the other bad teams play, like you say the Niners are trash this year. We said the Kansas City Chiefs were trash last year too, and look what happened. You say the Jets are trash this year. How much you want to bet that we're going to split with the Jets? I bet you we lose one game to the Jets. That's just my opinion. I think we're going to lose one to the Jets, especially at home. Let me ask you all this one question. While currently the 9th ranked team in the NFL draft. Yeah, I don't trust Chris Greer with the draft, although he did well with Achane and Jalen Wright. Well, that's the question. Teams do go on runs. Yes, they do go on runs. And I'm not stupid enough to know, I've been around the game for many, many years, that yes, we could change it around. Yes, we could. Possibly. Probably not, but possibly. It's just what I'm seeing. I can't explain it. The discernment I have for this football team, what I'm discerning with this team. Okay. I just see a lot of holes, a lot of different things that aren't in our favor to improve. That's why I say it's deeper than the quarterback problem. It's deeper than the quarterback problem. It's coaching. It's management. It's the O-line. It's our wide receivers can't get open and running lazy routes. I guess y'all missed that, the lazy routes. It's like after 1.5 or 2 seconds, they quit running. It's like the play's over with when Tyler Huntley extended the play. You notice that? He extended a play and he was looking, nobody's open. Because they're running lazy routes, because they're expecting the ball to get there in 1 point something seconds. That's the way our offense is designed. Hey, how's it going, Joseph? Whatever happened to the great Cam Smith that we wasted a draft pick on? I don't know, man. I have no freaking clue what happened to him. I don't know. You want to trade Alec Ingold? I don't know. What are you going to get for Alec Ingold? What are you going to get? I'll be quite frank with you right now. I'll trade Tyreek Hill. We're going to get the most assets for Tyreek Hill right now. And then maybe not the way he's playing. Who knows? But yeah, I think we should trade Tyreek Hill. What has Waddle done this year? It seems like he's always getting hurt. You know. Oh, that's another thing I want to talk about real quick. Heated comment says that's too far. It might be. That's the way I'm feeling now, brother. Hey, MDC, how you doing, man? Greer and Tua said they weren't worried about the O-line, huh? Yeah, that's what they said, man. That's what they said, you know. And as long as we're running the ball over 100 and something yards because defenses are giving that to us, nobody cares. Everybody's like, oh, look, our O-line's blocking great. Defenses are giving us that opportunity. They want us to run. And the same thing is going to happen when Tua comes back. Teams are going to say, run the ball. And here's where I'm going to say Mike McDaniel's going to go back to his old ways. He's going to go back to that timing offense. And he's going to have Tua thrown in those spots again because that's all he knows how to do. Because he's not a coach. Bottom line. Trade Ramsey. Yeah, he's another one we could trade and probably get some assets right now. I don't know how much because he's an older guy. Well, so is Tyreek for that matter. But Tyreek's unique. Joseph says, Steve, do you remember that these backup quarterbacks really are practice squad quarterbacks? We need a real backup. Maybe we would have been better. Now, that is a good point. That's a good point, Joseph. That's a good point. Um, and I did say that, yeah, they are practice squad players. And that's what I made that point about other teams, Malik Willis, Mariota, Darnold, who are Flacco. There's some others I'm probably missing. They're backups and they were winning. Justin Fields was playing well, right? And yeah, I agree. But who's that fall on? Who's that problem fall on with the backup quarterback? Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel. Yeah, we probably would have been a little better. Yeah. Although it's deeper than quarterback, but maybe we would have put up more points, you know? I don't know. But that's a good point. Appreciate that. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Arizona Cardinals coming up this week on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time game, I believe. Tua Tagovailoa is supposed to start. That's not confirmed yet, although it's looking, likely he is going to start, unless there's some setbacks when he practices on Wednesday or whatnot. We'll see how that goes. And I want to make a point, and it's just something I observed with Tua. And I know I made the comment about he's changed since he got his money and all that, and that's true. But ever since he got this concussion, this last concussion, he doesn't seem right. He seems a little off in some way to me. He's gotten a little more aggressive, a little more kind of looks like he's been a little more argumentative. And that could be a sign he sustained some damage to his brain. Yeah, I'm not trying to be funny. I mean, I'm serious. I really think it affected him in some way, and that's why I say when he comes back to practice on Wednesday, let's see how he focuses. Let's see if he can, know the lingo, get the plays right, things like that. Get his timing right. Is his timing's probably gonna be off, you know? He hasn't played for 5 weeks. So, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, okay. That could be that's fair. That's a fair point, Sea Devil. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. But yeah, he did. He seemed a little edgy. He seemed a little edgy. Seems a little nutty. You're right, MDC. I agree. That's what I saw. I've had 4 concussions in my lifetime. Maybe more, but 4 that I could say where I was out cold, and it has affected me. And I didn't have them back to back, back to back. I had one, and then maybe a couple years later had another one, and a couple years later had another one, 3, 4 years later had another one, whatnot. They weren't consecutive, real close. And I know it's affected me big time. Big time. Okay. I'm a little on edge sometimes. Sometimes I blow up for no reason. Now, that might be a little bit because of the military overseas, a little PTSD I sustained or whatnot. But the concussions probably did not help. I'm sure. It changes you, man. And he's had what, 3 or 4 that we know of. And then he had one in college as well, and maybe he had more in college. I've had my bell rung many times in when I played football. I mean, I wasn't out cold, but I've had my bell rung several times. I know that can't help. Boxing, I've had my bell rung, been knocked out once. and I've been had my bell rung many times. You know, so it definitely has affected me. Oh, you're welcome, MDC. You're welcome, brother. But anyway, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit tonight and get see where you guys were at, and I was just reminiscing, or not reminiscing, but thinking about what is wrong with the Miami Dolphins football team. What is wrong with this football team? We'll see, guys. We'll see. Maybe we'll get some answers. Maybe we'll get some answers. Um, against the Cardinals. Maybe if we lose to the Cardinals, ladies and gentlemen, we are really, really bad team. Bad team. In the Hard Rock Stadium, we lose. Can you imagine that? Whoo! That would make us 2-5. Now I know a lot of folks they're saying, "Oh, I want to blow it up." I want to blow it up. No, it's too soon for that, in my opinion. I wouldn't blow it up now. Even if we did lose to the Cardinals, I think some changes in personnel need to be made. Coaching probably is not going to be one of them. Not until the end of the year. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. But no, I'm not ready to blow it up right now. But anyway, guys, I really do appreciate you joining me tonight. If you haven't already, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. And I want to make mention of this too, that we do have super chats. If you are inclined to give a little bit to the Fins Talk Sports Network, that would be wonderful, and we definitely would appreciate that. So I just want to let you know about that. I don't mention that too often, but just I've seen a lot of new faces in here and stuff, so I thought I'd mention it. But listen, guys, thank you for joining me tonight, and everything. And just remember, Dolphins number one, baby. Dolphins number one.